When I first got the call, Kelsey from FIA left a message that was something like, yeah, so funny. It was so funny. Could you call me sometime today? So I thought, okay, it's not an instant baby, so I can take a breath.
When I first got the call, it was very early in the morning, so we were still sleeping, and it was about 2 weeks before our son's due date. While we were prepared for any minute, it was still a little bit of a shock.
We had a scheduled call that we went through, I believe it was with Patty and Brandy, and at the end of the call, they said, okay, we have a situation, which we learned meant that there was a potential birth mother that was interested in us.
Since March began, we are seeing a lot of different things that we are kind of going day by day with. Hospitals have many different policies as to what they will allow and won't allow at the hospitals, and we're finding that every hospital is a little different.
Our experience of the hospital was actually pretty great. I think the hospital staff there in New Hampshire definitely went above and beyond in helping us feel comfortable and giving us the support that we needed. It was also great that our caseworker from FIA was there. We beat her, but she definitely was there to help us through any sort of hiccups or challenges that we might have had to navigate.
Only one of us was allowed in, and so we had much debate over who that would be. And I work in a hospital, so I'm comfortable in that environment, and I'm comfortable, wearing PPE. And so, based on that, really, it was decided that I would go into the hospital.
He came out in his car seat, and I didn't even take him out of his car seat. We just put him right in the car and drove an hour to go pick up our older son. So I didn't actually get to hold Levi for the first 24 hours. And then once I saw him, a whole other hour.
Times are different. Times are not what we think they were going to be still, but placements are happening. Families are becoming parents, and I think that they have some pretty amazing stories to tell their child about their adoption journey and how they were placed.
When I first met my child, it was a moment we had waited for several years, and it was just wonderful.
When we first met Levi, he just was the perfect little guy, and he's continued to be so ever since. He's just super even keeled, just smiley, happy, easy, good sleeping, amazing baby. So we really just could not be happier with how things have worked out, and we feel so lucky that Levi's birth parents, such amazing people, chose us to serve this role.
Yes, we met each other. Yeah, it had been a long journey, so I was very happy to have arrived there finally.
When I first met my child in the hospital, it was just magnificent, magical, any word that you can use to describe it. You can read and you can talk to people and you can try to plan out for what it's going to be like when you get that first opportunity with your child just to meet. But when they wheeled in that little bundle of wrapped cotton and wearing a hat, and here you go, Mom and Dad, you get to take care of this now. It was just so excellent.
He smiles easily, and he is so alert and looking around, and he wants to, see what's going on, but he doesn't freak out like a lot of babies. He's so wonderful. We feel really fortunate that he's ours.
So things are always changing. We're staying in contact with the hospitals. We are letting adoptive families know, as well as pregnant individuals or birth moms know what to expect when they get there, as best as we know what to expect when they get there. The frontline workers and the hospital staffs and the nurses and the doctors have been amazingly accommodating and kind to our pregnant individuals and our birth parents and our adoptive parents in these unprecedented times where they are facing new things every day.
Friends in Adoption made my COVID-19 experience feel very normal, I guess.
It was uncharted territory for all of us, but they made it as seamless as possible.
And we just kind of sat back and, we didn't worry about it. We knew that they were doing what they needed to do. And, they would check in and tell us, this is the status on this. Not sure how this is going to work because of the pandemic, but, we've asked some questions and we'll get back to you with information. So I really feel like we were able to concentrate on being the best parents we could be and kind of figuring that time out as a family.
Prior to COVID, then during COVID, they really just have it together and have a team that works so well together, and the communication is so good.
Something unexpected that came up was that the family courts in state here had all shut down, and we didn't know how long we'd have to wait due to the pandemic to get a finalization with Max.
Me, because I'm a single parent, one of the things was travel, like who's gonna come home from the hospital with me, and getting them there because people didn't want to take public transportation. And I always felt like FIA folks were completely straightforward and open and helpful about that kind of stuff.
Support is absolutely still there. It may look a little different in that it is FaceTiming or texting or emailing or calling adoptive parents as they're entering the hospital or as they are waiting to become a family.
Because of COVID, our case manager that we had been working with, Kelsey, lives in Vermont, and she could not come to the hospital. There was another case manager readily available, and in short notice made herself available to come to the hospital and help us with this adoption, and so they just sort of picked up and made it work, and so that's FIA to make it happen.